Young adults 1-8 class are phenomenal. The minute you walk into class, you don't know what to expect, but you come expecting, because you know when you come expecting, God is always able to do something great. And without fail, we either get some kind of inspiration, some kind of direction, some kind of move of God that allows you to know, man, that God was really present. And that's pretty much the same for everybody. So no matter what your day was like, no matter what your week was like, when you come to a young adults class at POCC on a Wednesday night, you're going to receive something from God, either strength, refreshing, some kind of wisdom, some kind of word, some kind of direction, but you never leave the same way you came. One of my most memorable moments in our young adults class was a few weeks ago when people were just able to receive breakthroughs like I've never seen before. I mean, people were just coming up to you after they've been blessed or they travailing, and then being able to reach out to somebody else and pray for them, and that person receiving it. I mean, people were just everywhere. There was no conformity as to how you were supposed to react to the move of God. People were on the floor, people were on the wall, people were in corners, people were like standing, some people were just weeping in their very seats. I mean, you just literally see pure, uninhibited worship and just outlets of emotion as to what people were feeling when God was touching them. It was no kind of reservations in their minds or in their reactions, and that was the beauty of that night for me. I was like, wow, look at all these people, no fear, and total liberation, total freedom, being able to just express what they were truly feeling to God in an open environment where everyone felt at ease and in unity. And it's just beautiful to see. It's a beautiful moment. It's a beautiful time to just see people truly just free and liberty to worship God the way they truly feel.
Pursuing presence classes, it's just about basically pursuing God's presence. It's just what it says. God begins to show up in such great ways that you can't really, you don't see on an everyday basis. I believe that's because of, the community and what we have. God just does a new thing every time we're in there. We look forward to that class every week because we know that God's going to come in a form that we don't really expect. The spontaneity of his presence and the blessing that occurs in the classroom is beyond anything else that I've ever experienced in my life. I believe that every young adults class for me is memorable because I can always take away something new that I've learned about God and his approach and the way he just really rests on us. A class that was most memorable for me was when I spoke and how God began to move in a way that we've never seen him move before, and just how there's so many dimensions to God. There's so many, he's an infinite God. His presence doesn't have to be just worship. His presence doesn't have to be just singing, but his presence is in rest. His presence is in the quiet times, in the still small voice where we don't have to speak to God, but God is literally just pouring out on us. And there's nothing said in the atmosphere, but there's such it's still so thick. I see pursuing presence taking off. I believe in my heart that God is gonna give us a global calling, to affect the masses and to join churches and fellow believers together. I believe that this is going to be a rampant movement, that God's going to pour out his spirit, and that truth is going to be shed where in places that we didn't expect. I believe that the power of God is just going to show up just because we took the order to just go out. We took his order to be obedient and to go seek the lost and provide for them in so many ways, whether it be in just showing God's love and a praise and worship and song. I believe that this thing is going to really blow up, and people are going to be saved by the masses, and God is just going to really show us what he's doing in these last days. I believe that a generation is going to be called back.